the divergent expressions of Christianity among Black and white Americans' historical roots, and development. Black Christianity in the United States emerged during slavery, as enslaved Africans blended biblical teachings with their African traditions. For these communities, the Black church became much more than a place of worship. It served as a center of survival, resistance, and hope. The church embodied the pursuit of community, liberation, and justice. In contrast, white Christianity developed within the dominant culture. It was often tied to powerful institutions. White churches historically had greater access to resources, political influence, and social privilege, which shaped their development in societal roles, worship practices, and community life. Black churches are widely recognized for their expressive and participatory worship styles. These services often feature gospel music, call and response preaching, clapping, dancing, and emotionally charged sermons. Worship in Black churches tends to be communal and spirit-filled, with services lasting longer and emphasizing collective experience. White churches, especially those in mainline Protestant or Catholic traditions, typically exhibit more structured and restrained worship. The music may range from traditional hymns to contemporary praise bands or liturgical chants, depending on the denomination. Social role of the church in Black communities. Churches function as essential community hubs, serving as centers for civil rights activism, social services, and political organization. Prominent leaders such as Martin Luther King Jr. emerged from this tradition, reflecting the church's role in advocating for justice and equality. White churches often focus more narrowly on personal salvation and individual morality. While many are active in charitable work, they have not historically played as central a role in political liberation movements. Theological emphasis. Black Christianity places a strong emphasis on justice, liberation, and God's solidarity with the oppressed. Central themes include the Exodus story and viewing Jesus as a liberator. White Christianity more frequently focuses on the personal relationship with Jesus, individual sin and salvation, and the maintenance of social order. Evangelical traditions often stress evangelism and biblical literalism. Survey data and political alignment surveys from Pew and 𝐼 reveal that Black Christians are more likely than their white counterparts to attend church weekly and to consider religion very important in their lives. Politically, Black Protestants overwhelmingly identify as Democratic, while white evangelicals are among the most Republican-leaning religious groups. Black Christians are also more likely to perceive structural racism as a significant societal problem, whereas white Christians often attribute inequality to individual factors. In summary, Black Christianity in the U.S. is deeply communal, justice-oriented, and expressive, while white Christianity tends to be more individualistic, institutionally dominant, and varied in style from liturgical to evangelical. Political engagement in social issues, voting rights, and racial justice. Black Christians strongly support expanding voting access, including early voting, mail-in ballots, and restoring voting rights for felons. This stance is rooted in the Black church's central role in the civil rights movement, where voting was seen as a sacred right connected to liberation. White evangelical Christians are more likely to support stricter voting laws, such as voter ID requirements, often justifying these measures as necessary for election integrity. They are less likely to view systemic racism as a major barrier to voting. Abortion. Black Christians hold more varied views on abortion, but overall, Black Protestants are more supportive of abortion rights than white evangelicals. According to PRRI, about 59% of Black Christians who lean toward Christian nationalism still believe abortion should be legal in most or all cases. White evangelicals are among the most strongly anti-abortion groups in the United States, with about 70% stating that abortion should be illegal in most or all cases. For this group, opposition to abortion is a defining political priority. Immigration. Black Christians are generally more supportive of immigrants and immigration reform, often drawing parallels between the struggles of immigrants and their own historical fight for justice. PRRI data shows Black Christians are less likely to see immigrants as a threat. Immigration. White evangelicals, on the other hand, are more likely to support restrictive immigration policies, such as border walls and deportations. Surveys indicate they are among the groups most skeptical of immigration's impact on American culture. Overall political alignment. Black Christians overwhelmingly align with the Democratic Party, with the Black church serving as a backbone of the Democratic coalition, especially on issues of racial justice, healthcare, and social safety nets. White evangelicals are predominantly Republican and are a core base of the GOP. particularly on issues like abortion, religious liberty, and opposition to LGBTQ+ rights. To summarize, Black Christianity in politics emphasizes justice, equality, and community uplift, while white evangelical Christianity emphasizes morality, order, and cultural preservation. Do Black and white Christians follow the same Jesus? At the core, both Black and white Christians claim to follow the same Jesus of the Bible. The differences that arise are not about the identity of Jesus, but about how he is understood, represented, and lived out in different cultural contexts. The same Jesus, the New Testament describes Jesus as a first-century Jewish man from the Middle East. He was neither Black nor white in the modern racial sense. Both Black and white Christians affirm the same central truths: Jesus as the Son of God, crucified and risen, offering salvation to all. Different representations in Western art, especially since the Renaissance. Jesus has often been depicted with European features of white Jesus. This image spread worldwide through colonization and missionary activities, becoming a default for many in African American and liberation traditions. Jesus is often envisioned as someone who identifies with the oppressed Black Jesus, symbolizing solidarity, resistance, and hope amid injustice. Scholars note that these are cultural lenses, not depictions of different deities, but distinct ways of perceiving the same Christ through lived experience.
On the behalf of myself, DFG, Chocolate Pearl, Apple, and Bean, we want to thank you for watching our show. Please come back, like, share, and subscribe. Peace.